Good morning. We were introduced yesterday. My name is Drendel Jeanney, and along with Mr. Sharp and Ms. Canepa and Mr. Pickett and Mr. Maxwell, we represent the residents of Franktown Road, the ranchers and homeowners whose lives were impacted by this fire. As you well know, this case is about a fire that occurred October 13th, 2016. It's something called a controlled fire that got out of control and escaped and came down out of Little Valley, down the front of the Sierras into Franktown Road. And the damages to the homes and ranches is apparent. Now, it's this case about fire. And before this case is over, the 10 of you are going to know more about fire than probably any other 10 people in the state of Nevada outside of firefighting experts. But with that knowledge comes responsibility. I mean, there's a reason you're going to learn about fire. It's because we're going to ask that you pass judgment on these defendants. We're going to ask that you consider whether they carefully planned and carefully implemented this fire so as not to put at risk Franktown Road. So in order for you to take on that responsibility, you're going to have to learn about fire. And over the next 5, 6, 7 days, we're going to learn about fire. And we're going to learn about something called controlled fire. Now, fire obviously is incredibly dangerous and destructive. I mean, just look what's around us this summer. So we spend tens of millions of dollars fighting fires and putting them out. So to give the authority to these defendants to start a fire requires really careful analysis and really careful planning because of the horrible risk and consequence of escape. Now, over the last 50 years, this concept of controlled fires has been continually analyzed and tested and taught. So in October, when this controlled fire was started in Little Valley, it wasn't just out of, well, let's go up there and give it a try. There's 50 or 60 years of training and analysis and testing that went into place so that any of these agencies, fire agencies that are going to start a fire like this, have to develop a set of rules to control the fire. And that's what this term, controlled, is referring to. The control is, this fire, it's like a wild animal. It's not a domesticated cat or a dog. When you let it out, it's going somewhere.